Hey folks, Rick Berube here. We are Facebook Live on this wonderful Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing well. What is today, the 11th, Paul? I think it's the 11th.
Yep.
August 11th. Can you imagine we're in August? Wow. This year is cranking, and we are very fortunate here today from our Southwest office, always in the top echelon of the agents in that office. Christina Cova-Simmons, welcome to the show.
Hello.
See that? We have our own in-studio audience for you. Can you imagine that?
Wow, it's so special.
So pretty crazy. I got a lot of questions to ask you, but let's start with you. Tell us about, like not everybody knows who you are, but most people do, let's face it. A little, how long you've been in the business, what kind of volume you're doing, what kind of year you're having, even with this crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in the business for 15 years. I actually got started on a team, but I've been with Berkshire Hathaway, Prudential before forever, pretty much my entire career. So it's pretty unusual to stick with the same broker. I find that people are jumping around and around, but no, I've been with this company forever. And I was on a team, like I said, for 7 years. I think I went independent right around 14, right? Perfect timing. That's when we did the Berkshire Hathaway merger. So it was an awesome time. But I actually went to school here at UNLV. I was going for business, and I had a job opportunity to be an office manager while I was in college at a school that did distance education for CE for realtors. So I would just see all these realtors coming in at the last minute, at the end of the month, looking to do their CEs. And one of them actually is a good friend, Shane Wynn. I had met him, 15 years ago, but super funny. He came in and all these people were getting their CEs and just really talking about how the market was hot. Now, this was 2004. Everything was selling like hotcakes. So it was easy. And honestly, as a senior in college, I was like, hey, you know what? I work at a real estate school. They offer me the education for free. So I took my test. I got my license, and I thought I would just do it for my own personal, like friends and family. But of course, 2006 came, I graduated, went full time and never looked back. So that's kind of like how I got into the business. And like I said, I've been with this company since then.
That's great, right? I mean, you got the most energetic broker on the planet, right? Your manager, Aldo Martinez.
Absolutely, Aldo. Yep, Aldo's the best. Yeah, he can deal with us because we're a tough crowd, our little Southwest office.
Oh yeah, no, that is one rowdy, fun group.
Yeah, you definitely he can handle us.
I love it. Paul's even giving you the horn now. There we go. All right. So tell us a little about. Okay, so ever since I've been here since the time you mentioned, 2014. I think right about like 6 months after it went. Is one of the reasons why I came from where I was to here was because I always jokingly say because I had Mark Stark and Uncle Warren, and Uncle Warren and Mark Stark is a great combination, is it not?
For sure, the best.
So tell us a little about how you do your business and all that good stuff.
Well, yeah. So since obviously the first 7 years of my career, I was on a team. I did nothing but internet real estate. I worked with a lot of buyers. So it was kind of funny because back then, internet real estate was like really new. It's a little bit different now, but back then, I feel like the buyers that were coming online, they were a little bit more loyal. They were only going on. So we had a really good website. That's how I was getting a lot of my business was from that team. Then fast forward 2014, when I decided to become independent, I was realizing that a lot of those clients, I was starting to finally get that funnel of like referrals. And so I would say my business right now has been referral based. Like 95% of what I get is referral based, which is a good thing because obviously I'm not the best. I've had to take Rick's classes, Success Center, to become better at going on listing appointments and, really stepping up my game to earn business that's outside of my referrals, right? Because business has always been kind of given. Now they're calling me, they're seeing my results, and I stay in touch with my SOI. I do a lot of pop-bys. I do client parties. I do a lot of those things that, sorry, now I have a child walking in.
Oh, so, let her come in.
So most of my business is referral based. And so that's what I love. I'm not a big door knocker. I don't like to cold call. I unfortunately, we got to stick to what we're good at. And what I'm good at is relationship. I am relationship-based realtor. I love people. I love parties. I love, my kids bring a lot of people into my life between their sports and their schools. So I've really just learned to navigate my business in that, where it's just naturally, I'm in those environments and you're doing life with people, right? People that are like you. And what I realized halfway through my career, I was such a young realtor. I was 21, 22 when I got into the business. So I felt like I had to be something that I wasn't. I would dress up in suits. I was trying to be older. I didn't own a home yet. I wasn't married. I had no children. I was this young 20-something who just graduated from college, and I had to prove myself, I thought. So I kept trying to do something. So that's why the team was really good for me at that time in my career, because it was just spoon feeding me business. Here's some, and I was good online. Here's some clients online. Here's some buyers. And working with buyers really builds your confidence, right? You kind of start with buyers. But over the time you build your confidence, you have more experience. I got married. I had children. I had way more experience under my belt. Then I was kind of able to go down on my own and then just really work the relationships. And then I realized, okay, I don't have to always be that realtor. There's a realtor for every person. As many different people are walks of earth on this earth, there's a realtor for that person. And so I just have to find my people, and the people that think I'm nuts, and because I am, social media, like honestly, the quarantine has been a blessing because I'm being able to be me. If anybody knew me growing up, my family would say I was a cheerleader, a dancer competitively. I was crazy, hyper, I still am. And I love music. I love dance. So when TikTok came out, it was naturally something that I gravitated to. And it's just an expression of me. And that was a way for me to kind of share some fun and laughter in what's going on with my SOI through social media. And I have to tell you, I've gotten so many people reach out to me privately and say, keep doing them. I love them. They make me laugh. You're so silly. You're crazy. But it's doing exactly what I wanted to do, which is to be top of mind and stay in front of them and let them know that, hey, I'm here. I'm your realtor for life, but I'm also a person.
Right.
I'm a mom, and I'm struggling with these kids at home that were home pretty much March through May, and I had to homeschool 2 kids, and I'm not qualified for that. And with school and with work, and I was telling you earlier how my business was really affected negatively. Unfortunately, I really shut down March through May. I can't tell you how my escrows, looking back at my year so far, they are a direct correlation of me focusing on the family, but my business did take a hit.
Yeah. Well, but rightfully so, your priorities. But I will tell you, as far as your social media campaign goes, I've really enjoyed, because I'm on your feed, and we're friends, and we follow each other. And I will tell you that your health journey, okay, as well as I like your humorous ones too. They're a riot. But I also liked that you shared with everybody your health journey as well. That was incredible.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that was a big turning point, because things like this, Facebook living, I was very uncomfortable. I was very unhappy with myself physically. And the joke is, honestly, in real estate, you can only hold up so many things, right? And if you're killing it in real estate, sometimes your health and your fitness takes a backseat, because I know all those times when I am working all day and I am just barely getting ready for the day. The last thing I want to do is go to the gym at 7, 8 o'clock at night. And it's a struggle when you're a very high producing realtor to eat well, because you're on the road constantly. It's much easier to just grab something that's not good for you. So I think it is a big challenge of family life, your health and fitness, and being a good top producer. It's a juggling act all the time. I don't think we'll ever stop doing that. But I took 2019, last year was like my fitness year. I started in July, and now July of 2020 is 1 year. And I'm down 25 pounds, and I'm keeping it off since January. So it's a challenge, but everyone that's around me, I really drove a lot of people nuts. I'm on the Women's Council, I'm a president-elect. And so my entire board, we were traveling to DC, we were traveling we went to Boston, and every trip, there I was like, oh, I've got to have this, I got to eat this, I got to do this, I want to work out. And I know that it can be hard for other people, but I know that it also motivated other people to think about their health and wellness.
Yeah, you either really irritate them or you motivate them, right? They're like, oh, okay, there she is, being all healthy.
And that's just my personality. It's a love, it's a hate, you can't please them all. I'm 40, I'm finally realizing like, hey, you can't make everybody happy, just be you. And then the ones that gravitate toward you, those are your people.
Yeah. I love it too. And I went to one of your Women's Council events, okay, when I think you, so now you're president-elect. And you're also, and I met your husband then, and he's just as fun as you are.
Oh yeah.
And you're also involved with the board too, aren't you?
Yes, I was, and that's actually a huge thing that I think I wanted to make sure I told like newer agents, or even it took me years in my career before I got involved, and that was a huge mistake. And I'll use my friend Christina Cova-Simmons as an example. She is less than 5 years in the business, and man, is that girl killing it. She's my current president for Women's Council, so I've gotten really close to her. And I use her as an example for anybody who thinks that it's not important to get involved with your local association, with your local trade associations like ARIA, NAREB, Women's Council, any of those, even getting your designation, CRS, all of those have been so beneficial for me. I have finally, in the last 5 to 6 years of my career, have such good relationships with the top producing agents in the city. Like if they know me, if they have a listing, I'm telling you guys, in a market that we're in right now, when inventory is so low, under 400,000, and you're writing offers and you're going up against multiples, it makes all the difference when you can pick up the phone and call and say, hey, Mary Perry, hey, Bobby Stardust, these are the people who have these listings. Hey, Jillian Batchelor. They know you. They know that you're a professional. They know that you do a good job and you're no drama and you just get the deal done and you're pleasant to work with. Guess what? Those are the people you want to become friends with. And these organizations really are what brought me to have friendships with these people, these powerhouse people. So I cannot stress enough how important it is to give back to the association, give back to these trade organizations, and it helps your business. Yes, is it time away from your business? Yes, but you can't look at it that way. You really do grow as a realtor, and RPAC, all of it. I really drove deep. I'm part of RPAC, doing 10,000. The contribution, we do like 1,000 a year minimum. I can go on, and all the good places you should be.
Yeah, no, it's very true. And it's like, it's not really time away because you're really, like you just said, increasing your relationships for your clients. So having an advantage for your clients isn't a bad thing, right? It's actually a really good thing. Actually a really good thing. And by the way, the event I was at, you were very popular there. So everybody, you seem to be making a good hit with everybody at Women's Council and the board. By the way, I didn't get a vote when they changed it from Galvar. I like Galvar better than Las Vegas Regional.
I know.
It sounds cooler.
LVR. It's hard to change now. We're like LVR.
Yeah. Galvar. It sounds like a supervillain. It just sounds so much better. All right. So you got all that going on. Anything else you want to add about maybe your social media campaign and dealing with your sphere?
Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff, like I said, what I've learned is really a couple of things, right? We talked about the team. Don't rely, as a newer agent, don't rely on a team to build your brand, because that was a huge mistake that I made. When I had nothing to show for it, because a lot of big teams, I'm not going to bash them, but unfortunately, a lot of big teams, they have a lot of their business put in their name. Okay, you see the listing is under their name. That's what my team had done. So when you leave that team, you have no brand. Right. Okay. You are that team. So be mindful of that. Still make sure you're getting out there on social media, you're doing whatever farming you're doing, still make sure you're getting your name out, because I found that it's your face, your name, you're the brand, and it's very important for your reputation to have that. And when you're on a team, it's kind of hard to do that. So that was one thing, like invest in yourself and invest in your business in that sense. Another thing that I've been finding to be really difficult, we have to prove our worth, right? Proving our value as a realtor, being treated as a professional. You know, I feel like a lot of clients, remember, they have access to so much now that they didn't have 10 years ago. So the game is really changing. Step up your game. You really got to know what they know. If they know that area, they're going to know a house in a neighborhood more than you. It is what it is. They're so laser focused. We're looking at all of MLS, so that's, they understand. But I guess the biggest thing for me is you have to really be a trusted advisor, and I negotiate the hell out of the deals. I feel like that's one of my strong points, and you're facilitating the entire transaction. So just make sure you're proving your worth, because I feel like we as a realtor brand, we really need to step up our game and prove our worth. And it's only going to get worse going into the more technology advances. Another one thing I wanted to say too was don't get into the business just for the money. I can't stand right now. I understand people are out of work, so we're going to get a lot of new people, and that's great. We need new people always. But I think when you get into the industry for the wrong reason, this is why you're gone in 2 or 3 years. Because if you're just getting in to make a quick buck, good luck. That's not how it works. It takes time. It took me years to really get where I'm at. And if you do it the right way and get with anybody who you think is doing a great job, hey, if there's something that I'm doing that you like, call me. I'm an open book. If anybody knows me, there's nothing that I'm doing, honestly, that's, mind blowing. It's pretty easy in a sense that but it takes time and work, and that's all. And I think people that get into the business and say, that you're going to make it big, you have to realize it takes money to make money. Don't leave your job. That's the biggest thing that I did correctly is I maintained a little part-time job at the school, real estate school, while I was selling real estate. I had 6 months to 1 year of reserves so that I didn't have that stress, because there's nothing worse than commission breath. When you're so desperate to pay your rent and mortgage, it's hard. I get it. We're commission only, but we need to make sure that we are putting the client's interest first and not our own. So making sure you have enough money in reserves so that you can pay your bills without getting that commission. Continue to invest in yourself. Pay for professional photos. Please step up our game industry right now with what's going on with the virus. Pay for Matterport or something, a floor plan. Gosh, you would be surprised how many buyers call from other parts of the country, and floor plans are much more prevalent in their MLS, and they're calling from different states. They really need to see the layout. If the house is 5,000 square feet, come on, let's pay for that Matterport and get them that dollhouse floor plan. So just things like that. I'm just a big advocate for stepping up the realtor brand, and let's prove our worth.
I got it. Yeah, that's such a great point too. Yeah, so many great points. But okay, so I have to ask you my favorite question because we're getting close to the So if you were brand new, or if you were an agent trying to take it to the next level, what were the 3 most important pieces of advice you'd give them?
Well, those are the ones I just gave, but
yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, once again, I cannot say it enough. Stop relying on teams, build your brand yourself, invest in yourself. That was a huge thing for me. If I could do it all over again, I would probably leave the team sooner and and not be so afraid. Have some confidence. Everyone is new. Everyone had their first transaction at some point. And unfortunately, you're going to make little mistakes. That it happens. You only learn by doing more deals. And so maybe here's my advice. What I did with my best friend, Melissa, she is a licensed realtor, but she is a TC. She's one of the best TCs. I trained her from start to finish, and she's the best in the city, I believe. Not because I trained her, no. But she's doing it right. She does not have the time right now to sell real estate full time, but maybe that's how you get your feet wet. She knows the RPA and the addendums better than most realtors because she's doing it constantly for other realtors, and she's learning that way. And I think we really need to learn our forms. We need to learn them backwards and forwards. And that's what I would have done differently, maybe instead of being on a team for so long. Maybe I would have just done a little bit of TC work because I'm naturally a paperwork person. I know I'm not the normal salesperson. I'm more of a paperwork person. I enjoy paperwork. I'm a nerd.
You're very good at the administrative part. So what I'm really hearing is make sure you take time to build, especially with us, Berkshire Hathaway. We have an incredible brand, but you still want to build your brand within the brand being you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Because remember, the brand is the cherry on top. But your face, your reputation, that's first. That's what they're supposed to remember. Right. Like, I remember working with her and she was great and she went above and beyond. And that's just going to lead your foot in the door for the next deal. They're going to tell, remember, they might only tell 1 or 2 people when you're great, but they're going to tell 20 when you're terrible.
Right.
So that. And that goes to also what I did early in my career is the reviews. And I kind of fizzled a little bit right now. I haven't been as good at them, but I made sure to join LinkedIn and Facebook back when Instagram, when it was kind of really early, and Yelp, and was building up those reviews, those online testimonials for me. And that really helped building up a Google page. As many free places that I could be online, I was. If there was little places that I could put my face and there was a place for someone to make a comment about me and using me, do it. As a newer agent, be everywhere that you can be and get those testimonials for you are the biggest thing. If you could do a video testimonial, even better, because everything is video. As much as we can't stand seeing ourselves and hearing our voice, I know I sometimes don't like it, but we have to get very comfortable, and this is not going to change. We already know we're living in a, Zoom world. So we're going to have to get really comfortable with being face-to-face. And how do we convey trust? And how do we convey loyalty and just get those people to really genuinely trust us and like us? By video, it's not as easy. We don't have those hugs and handshakes anymore. So what are we going to do going forward? I think we need to get more comfortable face-to-face. From what I'm seeing through social media, the more real you are, the more you're attracting. As much as I was embarrassed to show the before and afters, that was me being real and saying, I kind of let myself get to this point, but I'm improving myself. And many people found that to be wow, she's a little chunky, cool. She likes to eat, whatever. We're all very similar. And the more that we can show that we're all living that same life and we're all doing that, I feel like it's used so much. It's kind of cliche, I know, but authentic, right? Yeah. Being authentic. But it's true. And I'm living proof of it because that's how I get it.
I can tell you this, that they can definitely tell when you're inauthentic, when you're trying to be my little joke is be yourself, everyone else is taken. It's very transparent when you're trying not to be yourself and be somebody else, and people can see through that. But when you're being authentic and you're actually showing them, look, I was 25 pounds, I've worked this, that's an incredible thing to do. And remember, just because you're in real estate, it doesn't mean you have to be only about real estate, because they want to see you're living, you're a real estate entrepreneur, you're a great salesperson, you're on the Women's Council, but you're also a human being with feelings and families, and you have certain things like, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to get healthier. All that stuff is I know it sounds crazy. It sounds a little, some people think it's narcissistic to show your personal life, but people love it. That's why reality shows are so big.
And that's how I felt. I felt like, come on, what am I, a reality TV? Nobody cares about what I'm cooking for dinner. Give me a break. That's why I really didn't put myself out there. And I would feel annoyed that I was sharing too much. But the more I shared, the more people seemed to kind of like it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do it for those that like it. And the ones that don't, they could just block me.
Right.
They could just keep scrolling.
That's why I feel. There's two things I feel. That's one of them. And the other one is my little pet peeve is when people use a picture that's way too old. You can't do that with video. So my little joke is, if you can't use the picture at the DMV, you can't use it for your marketing.
Oh my God, that is like real estate 101. Yeah. Stop using our glamour shots from 20 years ago. I know.
Hello. Yes. Look at me. And the ones that crack me the most, I'm on the phone. Yeah.
Making deals.
Yeah, that's right. If I have a picture with hair, it's too old. All right. Any final thoughts you want to leave them today?
No, just do your thing. You know what? Like, get out of your slump, especially for this year. I'm telling you, I am so hyped and pumped up, guys. I feel like that was a blessing with being shut down for 2, 3 months because, wow, was I killing myself. I never wanted to come back to work so badly. It's like I was stuck with kids doing Zooms and teaching them. And I never so badly wanted to get on the phone and talk about repair requests and talk about, price reductions. It was exactly what I needed to fill my soul, and I needed a break. I was a little bit, tired. Yep. I got the break, but man, I'm telling you, the market is on fire. I am really optimistic about our city coming back, and I'm the biggest cheerleader for our city. I love our city, and I just say, stay positive, guys. Like, keep grinding. Yep. Because yes, are we going to have, a little low? Possibly. So that's even more a reason why I keep grinding.
Yep.
Take it now while it's good.
Absolutely.
And bank it, put it away.
You know what? Absolutely. The city is, the real estate economy in all three of our markets, California, Arizona, Nevada, with all this going on, still cranking along, actually at a little better pace prior to it happening. So, which means, could you imagine when it's not dragging this? I mean, think about it. It's like dragging a weight around with you all day. This pandemic situation, the economy, when that is handled, which hopefully we're not too far handled, what I mean by that is the new normal, whatever that ends up being.
Yeah.
So next year, I think we're going to have a couple of really good years in the bank here. I know there's a couple naysayers out there, but it's an election year. What else are they going to say? Some people want change. Some people don't. If you want change, it's got to be bad. Why? So it's a crazy time, but I think next year when everything levels out, you're going to see some incredible times, and I think you're already seeing it now.
Yeah, and like I said, I tell everybody this, I live in my own little bubble. And if that's crazy, I just stay in my bubble, stay in my lane, stay positive, because what else choice do we have? And I'm telling you, sometimes it's better to be a little naive and not watch the news and not know what's going on.
Amen.
Be positive.
Yep. I had a guy come to I'll tell this quick story. I had a guy come to my house, anyway, the short version is he was a subcontractor putting in some shelves for my wife, and so he says to me, what do you do for work? And I go, I'm with Berkshire Hathaway. Now he's got a laser set up, he's drawing, and he says to me, oh, I'm so sorry. I go, for what? He goes, the real estate economy, foreclosures, property values going down. And I go, oh, you watch CNN, don't you? He goes, as a matter of fact, I do. And I go, I can tell. Then I told him 1,250 homes went under contract last week in Nevada. Only 1,000 or a little less than 1,000 came on. Do the math. The inventory is declining. Property values are going. So I felt it necessary to give him a little schooling because you're not going to get honesty from the media. And I agree with you. Stop watching the media.
Yep.
But I just want to say, Christina Cova-Simmons, thank you very much for taking out your time today. This was completely awesome. You're the best. Keep it rocking. Everybody else, we'll see you soon. Woo!
Bye, guys.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Have a great day.